Welcome to the Home Building Hub, your essential podcast guide to building your new home. Hosted by industry experts Colin Bischoff and Darren Brennan, this conversational podcast will help better educate you about all things new home building so you can avoid costly mistakes and enjoy your building experience to the fullest, no matter which home builder you choose.
Hey there, folks. Welcome to the Home Building Hub. You're with Colin and co-host Darren Brennan as always. Today, Daz, we're going to talk a little bit about first home buyer grants. So, firstly, how you doing, buddy? And then take us into the topic.
Mate, I'm going fantastic, absolutely ripping along. I'm wrapped about this one, right? Because in a couple of the states right now, I can tell you that the first home buyers grant's about to wrap up. So at the end of the financial year, being the 30th of June, 10 grand off the table, right? So if you're a first home buyer, you need to actually go in and get your things together and sign up for a house before that date. If 10 grand means a lot to you, and I'll tell you what, if I was a first home buyer, 10 grand is a lot of money. So we really want to touch on that. The other part is there's a whole lot of other government incentives out there. So one, first home buyers grant, we're going to run you through as many of those as we can that are available to you right now if you're looking to purchase a home. And hopefully they'll really help you along in that journey. And I reckon these are undersold, Colin, these government incentives, and I don't think people know enough about them out there. And sometimes they get on one, other times they don't, and they're missing out on thousands of dollars in savings. Some, things like saving on LMI or saving on stamp duty, just not being aware, right? And not even just getting the box ticked to say, yes, I'm eligible for that and I should be getting those funds. So right now, the first home buyers grant in Victoria is ending. As I say, it is ending in some other states, and you're going to talk about those, what's available from a first home buyers grant perspective, but we'll run through all the different government grants that we're aware of. And, there may even be others that we're not aware of. The other part is we're smack bang in the middle of an election campaign. So they will be making further announcements around ways and means of which getting people into a new home. It drives huge amounts of jobs. There will be some announcements on that. So as they come to light, we'll make sure that we'll do our best to inform you guys about those. There it is, mate.
Nice.
Let you rip into what the grants are, state and territory based.
Yep. We're obviously fairly Victoria-centric, but a lot of our episodes we're really trying to be mindful to spread across to the other states, so you guys have some value and to take something from what we're talking about. So the first homeowners grant is something that we'll talk about each state really quickly. So Victoria is a $10,000 grant. That's the one that's ending, that Darren mentioned. New homes only up to the value of $750,000, and you must live in the home for 12 months. Okay, so that's Victoria. New South Wales is $10,000 as well. New or substantially renovated homes, 600 grand for new homes, 750 full land and build contracts. Okay, so that's very similar to Victoria. You must live in the home for 12 months as well. Queensland's actually 30 grand based on what our homework tells us, Darren. So contracts signed up to the 30th of June 2025. And
so that one's ending.
That one's ending. It must be less than 750K. And you must live in the home for at least 6 months within 12 months of settlement. So that one's pretty appealing. There'll be some Queensland buyers that should be getting their skates on as a result of that, Daz, because
absolutely
30 grand's
30K. I wish we had that down. No wonder Queensland's booming.
That's a big one, yeah.
30K.
We had a few of those grants in recent years that just, people were literally banging the doors down, weren't they? So moving to South Australia, 15K, up to 650 value. Again, live in the house for 6 months within 12 months of settlement. So it's pretty good, appealing. I'm not sure when that one ends, Darren. The Western Australian one is 10K as well for new or substantially renovated houses, up to 750K. I think they split into north and south. So 750K for the south, 1 million for the north. Again, live in the home for 6 months within 12 months of settlement. And Tasmania's 10K as well, no cap specified. that we could see. Again, 6 months living in there within 12 months of settlement, new homes only. Our friends in the Northern Territory is 10K as well, new or substantially renovated homes, no cap, and live in there 6 months within 12 months of settlement also. And the ACT, we couldn't find one actually, Darren. So there you go. There's a quick
Probably
snapshot.
why their housing market's shot too. They're not doing anything to help them out.
Potentially, the irony of that. But so that's a quick snapshot. Obviously, you can jump online and find that stuff out yourself. But just to quickly dart through the situation, each state, not e-state, I should say. Daz, let's move on to the next one. Do you want to go through a couple of the other things that are available?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Victoria, the Victorian government has the shared equity scheme. And what that basically means is that it allows eligible buyers with as little as a 5% deposit to have the government come in and contribute up to 25% of the purchase price in exchange for an equivalent share of that property. So what it means is they'll come in and hold up to 25% of the value of the home, and you own the rest, right? With that one there, participants can buy back the government share over time, so you have the choice to buy that back. This only applies to existing homes and new homes with a certificate of occupancy. So it is on new homes, but they're not on normal build contracts. The other part on that is if the house has gone up in value, so let's say the house goes up by $100,000 and the government's got a 25% share, $25,000 of that equity that's increased, the government will take as part of their share. So they're investing in it and they want a percentage return of that any increase. But likewise, if the property does decrease in value, they will take that hit along with you as well. So they're in sharing that risk, I guess.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good leg up.
Absolutely,
it's a partnership. So yeah, that's in Victoria, and then moving to, I guess, more the federal stuff. Pretty similar to that one, Darren, in some ways, is the Help to Buy scheme. So it's a shared equity scheme as well. Federal government contributes up to 40% of the purchase price for a new home, up to 30% for existing. Income caps do apply, so 100,000 for an individual, 160K for couples or single parents. The scheme really aims to reduce mortgage repayments and interest rates for buyers. And again, like Darren had sort of indicated in the previous one, it applies to new homes with a certificate of occupancy, meaning it's built or newly built. So that's what it applies to. Essentially, the government takes out a stake, for up to 40% in the home, and after a while, up to 5 years, you can then essentially buy out the government's share. And also, again, they, if it goes up in value, that's great, but they get their bit. But also, if it doesn't, they take a hit as well. So pretty similar, but great in terms of if you can't get it done yourself, then you've got these partnership shared equity options, which is a great way to get into the first one, get it done, and get you on the property ladder. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and I think again, look back when we bought our first properties, Colin. I wish some of this stuff had applied. It might either allow you to buy a slightly better property, right, or even just getting that ability to get into the market, full stop, and then over time that you'll make some equity in that, and then you'll be able to use that equity to buy out the government share, which is and hopefully over that time also your own circumstances improve. I know when I bought my first home to now, I earn a lot more money than I did then. So you're in a better position to be able to do that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So they're really good schemes. The next one we've got is the home guarantee scheme, and again, this one's an absolute ripper, Colin, as far as I'm concerned. What it's aimed at doing, there's several programs. It's aimed at not needing to have lenders' mortgage insurance, and that the government come in and guarantee you as a buyer to say they're wanting to back you in, and they'll cover that lender's mortgage insurance essentially and back you in. So they become a quasi-insurer without a cost against that. So the first home guarantee allows first home buyers to purchase a home on a 5% deposit without paying lender's mortgage insurance, which is awesome. Again, there are limited banks that it's available through, so talk to a broker. And when I say talk to a broker, please don't just go to any old broker. Go and talk to someone who specialises in new home construction, right? We've had a couple of the guys on our podcast over the journey. That's what they're specialists in. So these are targeted at people who are looking to build a new home. So if you go talk to a broker off the street, they may never have done a construction loan. They may not even know about these because they're not interested. And then that means you miss out. Whereas if you go and talk to someone like a Steve Matsoukas or a Mark Palakinson, who we've had on our podcast before, they will be able to help you out and make sure that they can point you in the right direction to get these.
Yep.
The next one is the family home guarantee. Supports eligible single parents or legal guardians with at least one dependent child to buy a home with as low as a 2% deposit. I mean, it's such a fantastic opportunity, and that's again without paying that lender's mortgage insurance. They also have the regional first home buyer guarantee scheme that targets eligible buyers in regional areas, enabling them to purchase with a 5% deposit without LMI. I'm pretty sure on that one, and please don't hold me to it, that if you haven't purchased a property in 10 years, you can go back and purchase a property now. So if you've been renting the last 10 years for whatever reason and you had a property more than 10 years ago, you can actually apply for that one as well. So again, talk to the right broker. They'll make sure they check all those eligibilities off. There's also additional support out there for you as a first home buyer. So there's stamp duty exemptions and concessions. So in Victoria, first home buyers may be eligible for a full exemption on homes valued up to $600,000, and for a part concession on homes valued between $600,001 and $750,000. So again, it can be significant, those savings on stamp duty.
Yeah.
I guess, again, important to note that eligibility criteria and property thresholds apply to each program. Some of the schemes have limited numbers available and also annual caps from a financial perspective. So understand what they look like. Talk to your broker. It's advisable to speak to a mortgage broker or a financial advisor to understand which grants and schemes you may qualify for and how they may best suit you.
Yeah.
You can go to some of the websites out there, your local government state revenue office, for all of those grants Colin spoke about. There's a website for the Victorian Homebuyer Fund. Housing Australia Home Guarantee Scheme, there's a website for, and there's also the Help to Buy Scheme website. So if you look any of those up, you'll be able to Google search those. They'll really help you out in that journey. But there's a lot of government money out there to support new home buyers, first home buyers particularly. Find out what that is and how that might be able to help you through that journey. Because again, this industry, the building industry, employs a lot of people. The government want to encourage people to buy new homes. They've set some serious targets, 1.2 million homes nationally over the 5-year period, this current 5-year period. So they really want people to be out there buying a new home and building a new home, because it employs lots of people and it gets you into your house and really encourages people on that, great Aussie dream of owning a new home. Don't know if you want to add anything else in there, Cole, but that's pretty comprehensive but short and sharp.
Yeah. No, you've done well. I think it's common for people not to know about a few of those schemes, Daz, and all I can do is reinforce that you talk to a broker. So Mark and Steve, for example, so Loan Gallery and Mortgage Domain are our top two preferred, I suppose, in a lot of respects, because they know what they're doing when it comes to new home construction. Ask the question. You just jump on those sites, do a bit of homework yourself. You don't need to be an expert. Just know that they're there. Be aware of it. That's the whole point of this episode.
Absolutely.
And just challenge them. Hey, have you done new home construction lending, and do you know everything about all the grants available? Tell me about them. And if you're not confident, move on to the next. Better yet, just ring the guys we're talking about. Just scroll back through or Google or jump on ChatGPT is pretty common these days instead of Googling Daz. But either way,
Yep.
that's Loan Gallery, Mortgage Domain, and then the links that Darren sort of said as well. So we just want to put it out there, make you guys aware. They're ending middle of the year for a lot of the, some of the states. So
Don't miss out.
yeah, if you don't miss out, if you want to get some money for free, then off you go, get cracking. So awesome. That's it, Daz. We'll keep it 15 minutes on the dot as we look at the time right now. So thanks for doing that one, Darren, and thanks for listening, everyone. We will look forward to see you on the next one. And probably before I wrap up, I should always say, please leave us a 5-star review. That's very helpful. Please spread the podcast, all that sort of stuff. Topics, questions, ideas, hello@homebuildinghub.com.au for an email, or just jump on the website. You'll see a little link there. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Good on you guys. Cheers. Thanks for listening to the podcast, guys. And just our disclaimer, whilst we're all about providing value to you, this podcast should not be considered as legal or financial advice. It contains general information only, and you should seek out independent professional advice on your personal situation before making any legal or financial decisions.
1, 2,